Good people? Big up to all of you. I hope you're all enjoying your Sundays wherever you may be. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I wholeheartedly offer whatever suits your time zone. I appreciate you all finding the time to be on Chelsea Perspective once more. That means the world to me. Thank you once again. Today we'll talk about Dusan Vlahovic, Tyler Adams, Moises Caicedo, Michael Olise, of course, Romelu Lukaku, and something else some other news that will possibly emerge as the show progresses. But more importantly, please, I urge us all to keep the topics aligned. As much as I like to interact with you, it can be tiring, it can be exhausting to be switching back and forth a topic like this. It doesn't help. And be patient. If you sense that we're not going to get to the topic you have in mind, you can then put it in the chat. But as long as you see that we have items lined up, be patient. Chances are one of the the stuff you want us to talk about is already lined up to be discussed. So please, let's try the best we can to keep the topics aligned. Without wasting much of your time, let's get straight into the show. Yes, people, keep dropping the likes on the stream. I hope you've all done so. And for those of you that are watching, but for one reason or the other, not able to participate in the chat, just know that we sincerely do appreciate you. I don't like being personal here because it's about us, not me, not anybody, any single individual. We appreciate you finding the time to join, even though you're not participating in the chat. Here's the thing: you watching alone does go a long way for us. But I urge you to please do us one more favor, one more tiny bit of favor, which is just to take a second and drop a like on the stream for us. We'd really appreciate that. Thank you all. Just a few days before the season starts, it's going to be a fun season with lots of new shows lined up to debut on Chelsea Perspective. One that I have to mention to you, two times a week you'd have Jerry host two shows. One you could say statistic driven, for lack of a better way to say that, and the other one more of a general topic there, but it will all be fun there. It's Coach Zila. God of Frogs, I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. I hope you're doing well. Hi panelists, hi to you too, with Julius, Kachi, and that's the Dumpry. I appreciate you, the Dumpry, and Gabriel A. Big up Coach and the gang. I had a notification for this one. Obviously, must have been a mistake. Glad to see you. Glad to see you too, brother. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join. It's been a minute. Please do let me know how you're doing. We should get Tyler Adams, irrespective of Caicedo. It is still at £20 million, and he's a fine player. He's a natural ball leader. He led the United States very well. I forgot whether he captained the team or not, but again, you don't have to be the captain to lead, but he was excellent for them, and he's a fine defensive midfielder, and traditionally a defensive midfielder, which I don't think Moises Caicedo is. Will add depth, and he is worth at least double in today's crazy transfer fee. But yeah, we're lucky because he has a relegation buyout clause on his contract. Big up to you too, Namaya. Namaya, why are you, you can say, calling me out in public like this? As a club, we needed to make up our minds, constantly block pathways for great young stars, and then yell snake, and then W. Michael just says, how is Tyler Adams better than Santos in less say a season? But this by again, here's the thing. I hope again if we don't keep Santos, that's when I have a problem. Yeah, but let's move on. But you make a good point there. It's that time of the year, says Jerry Z. Jerry Z, happy Sunday to you too. I hope you're doing well. Mr. Coach, just 8 hours late from the original time. We'll allow it. It's much love. I know you guys love me, and I love you back. God of fraud. Sometimes things do pop up because it's just me alone. Jerry is still going through training to be ready to be able to host the show even when I'm not available. So that will go a long way. As you know, I do everything myself. I design the thumbnail, schedule the show, write the write-up or the description of the show and all that. Plan it in and wake up 2 a.m. sometimes earlier. So it's not been easy. I'm trying to cope with it. I get it. I've gotten used to it, but sometimes it can be, you can say, overwhelming. Come on, hit the like button, people, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Let's see if we can get it to 300 likes today. Big up to you too, JC. How are you? I'm doing well. I can complain. What a perfect timing for your stream. I returned from beach. I finished the dinner, opened a beer, switch on computer, and here you are. Perfect timing. Always nice to have you around, brother. I hope you're doing well. Chelsea Blue says, a big up, coach. Time up for Chelsea to represent London again. Fed up to see the Reds. We're coming back. We're coming back big time. And I'm not concerned. I've always said again, the future is bright. My concern has always been the immediate future, and that turned out to be that I'm correct. But I think we're past that phase right now. I think this season will be great for us. How great? I honestly do not know, but that's just me. Let's start addressing the items we have lined up here one by one. I know when I have a mind to bring on the panelists, so I'm trying to avoid a situation where, again, I have to be going back and forth, switching between topics just like this. I get it. It takes the brain, you can say, when you switch to a different topic, the brain also has to readapt to process the next thing you're discussing. So that can be exhausting, and we don't want that. We're all lots of us has been here for a while now to learn that I've always complained about that. But we move on. Let's see. We'll start addressing the items one by one. Big up to you to Chelsea Blue. Kai Havertz as false nine today again. That false nine occurs, and he's a false finishing. Okay, that's a good one. So the first item we have lined up here talks about Angelo Gabriel. So my promise, I did promise a week ago or two that if he lives on loan, then I'm going to do a $50 giveaway. But I'm not going to do that today. I'll do it during the Blue Morning Show when I made that. It was during the Blue Morning Show that I made that promise. So the giveaway will be during the Blue Morning Show. But beyond that, it says that Angelo will arrive in Strasbourg early next week for a loan move. I didn't know that was going to happen, honestly. I thought he was going to stay because he brings us something different to the table, a different profile. But I'm not going to get into analyzing how he plays, which is something different. Why we're letting him go out on loan, I honestly do not know. But let's see what happens there. Maybe because probably there will be no space for him to play week in, week out, or play an ample amount of game to ensure that he continues developing as a young player that he is. But that's, by the way, we move on from that particular item. Let's go to the next item we have lined up here. Let's see. Give me a second. My screen is a bit slow. For what reason? My system is a bit slow this afternoon for some reason that I do not know. This says that Juventus have a new idea to present to Chelsea. If Lukaku does well with Juventus, then they will pay 15 million, which is a total of 43.5 million pounds. But they intend to pay 15 million euros if Lukaku does well at Juventus to Chelsea, and then they will pay 18 million euros. To Chelsea, and then they will pay 18 million euros, 69 million for Vlahovic. Okay, that's how much Chelsea will end up paying it. I think this report isn't that clear. I think it's a bit confusing in my opinion, but I think I understand what they're trying to say there, because I've been following the situation. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 42 likes. Let's get it to 100 as soon as possible. And shoot for 200 and even more. The aim today will be to reach 300 likes. I recollect last season United fans were trolling Mudryk as 007 because he did not have a goal and assist in his first 6 games. The truth is back and it's MM7 about to become MM007, different MMs. Yeah, I totally do understand what you're saying there. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. So Juventus, the deal is still on, and I read something to the effect of that Chelsea may well pull out of the deal if Mauricio Pochettino says no to the signing of Dusan Vlahovic. But do I want us to sign him? I have concerns, but I still do want us to sign him because he's still young. If it doesn't work out, we can move him on for a sizable fee. Big up to you too, DJ. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you joining the stream. I just wanted to address some items myself alone before I bring the panelists in. That way, we're not going back and forth topics that can be exhausting. And I've explained why I don't want to go through that again, because I do everything myself. The design of the thumbnails, everything, researching the images, researching but Eddie has been very helpful with helping with current topics out there. He's been furnishing me with whatever emerges, and that has been very helpful. But we move on. Let's go to the next item there. I think this deal will still happen. Why do I say the deal will still happen? And that is because no, DJ, you don't have any issue. I'm not complaining about you or JC because you guys know what you're doing there, and JC knows when to not to drag me into another topic. So DJ, you don't have any issues. The reason I think this deal will still happen is because Lukaku going to Juve is the only viable you can say way to get rid of him now. And Juventus also, again, the only way to get rid of Dusan Vlahovic, which will be proposed swap deal plus cash for Romelu Lukaku. Other than that, they don't have any other way, because it turns out PSG weren't that serious about signing Dusan Vlahovic. But big up to you, my bro, DJ. I hope you're doing well. You don't need to apologize. I know you know what you're doing there. No worries, bro. Again, much love to you. And I think Gabriel was bought for Vieira, but the club wanted to see him against our tough preseason. And he did well, honestly. I thought he was going to stay, and that was why I had to promise a $50 giveaway during one of the Blue Morning shows, and now I owe the community a $50 giveaway, and I'm going to do that during one of the Blue Morning show editions. Ben FC, my bro, I appreciate you joining one day. How do you see Caicedo deal developing? I think we get to that in a bit. I don't want to give it away right now. We have quite a lot sequence of reports that we want to go through one by one to make sense of the whole situation. And before I do that, I'd have the panelists join me here, so it's not just me. But I have some items I want to deal with before that happens. But I appreciate you joining our boom. Straight a swap with no money involved. I should be fine. I don't see that happening. And see, I know you of all people know quite well that that's gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. Why? Because they value Dusan Vlahovic more than Romelu Lukaku, and he's an all-round player, and Lukaku isn't that. He's a way better player, way better finisher, and he's still 23, while Lukaku is 30 plus. Correct me if I'm wrong. Why can't we just do a loan to buy option on Vlahovic? Maybe give them an initial fee. They don't want that. They want him gone. They want him gone again like this. And again, the previous player, they've loaned a player to us before, and that didn't end well for them. They loaned what's his name, Denis Zakaria to us, and we end up not buying him. So I don't think they'd be happy, and probably not happy how we treated Zakaria. I get it; he didn't stay fit, but you say the fact is, again, he didn't get to play on some occasions when even sometimes even when he is fit. Adeba Makunju, what does Tyler Adams add to our team? Height, aggression, goals, possession, value added. Pep never signs a players for the sign player for signing's sake. That man is so deliberate. Yep, that's the thing. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. The more I am hearing of this Vlahovic deal, the more I am thinking it might not happen. The player himself has expressed to Juventus he wants to stay, but they don't want him to stay. It hasn't worked. The only time maybe things would turn around for him is if they change Allegri. Because if you ask me, I'd say one of the main reasons why he's struggled at Juventus is because of Allegri's approach. Yeah, that's just my opinion. Allegri understands his counter-attacking approach. Lukaku is more suitable than Vlahovic. The player himself has expressed, again, let's see what happens there. Kachila, but if they value Vlahovic more, they can just keep him. Why go in terms of his value? But in terms of his profile, as a player, he doesn't really suit the way Allegri likes to approach football. But then again, that is just my opinion. I've seen a lot of people agree to that notion that one of the reasons why he hasn't done well at Juve is down to Allegri's preferred approach of football. But that's just my opinion. Lukaku is proven commodity in Italy. Vlahovic is not. But they know that he do well under a manager such as a manager as Mauricio Pochettino. Also, Eme has been talking to Lukaku on the phone. Okay, let's keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along with Vlahovic will cost less than Højlund. It's worth the risk. It's less of a risk than Højlund. I agree with you. I honestly, I do agree with you. I think you can say people again. You can say the talk. You can say the hype on Højlund sense. It's just you can say the similarity. People look at him and they draw similarities with him and Erling Haaland, but they're not really paying attention to again the sort of player he is, in my opinion. Says for me, instead of Chelsea going for Vlahovic, I would prefer Oli Watkins. I love him. The day I mentioned Watkins here, people nearly cut my head off. 47 likes. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. Let's get it to 100 and shoot for 200 as soon as possible. Olise over Kudus. Yeah, that's may well be what we're doing right now, but I'm not too sure if that's the case. Alfred Quaraco. Alfred Quaco, nice to see you. I hope I pronounced your last name correctly. Please show your support by liking and subscribing. We have an array of shows planned as we approach the season. Jerry Z's show will debut on Tuesday. One of his two different shows will debut on Tuesday. The other one will debut the following Friday, I think, yeah. On the 8th, I think so, to be specific. I think that's on a Friday. With just 1 week remaining until the historic Chelsea versus Liverpool match. Yeah, you don't want to miss those. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. And I appreciate you all finding the time to join me this afternoon where I am. I just want that Jackson progress is not hampered. I don't think so. Or harmed, that's the word you used there. I don't think so. Why? Because Vlahovic is a different profile player. So we need them both. We can actually have them both on the pitch, in my opinion. Hampered, again, and his minutes do not suffer just because Vlahovic costs more. No, I don't think so. They are players of two different profiles, so I'm not really concerned. Vic, coach, you left us waiting this morning. Yep. Here's the thing. When I was scheduling the show, the plan wasn't to schedule it for morning because I wanted to go to church and back this morning. So I didn't know I had scheduled it the usual time and not 12 p.m. my time. So apologies for that. I honestly do, appreciate your understanding. Coach, what happened to you in the afternoon? Nothing happened to me. I'm fine. Constantine Dante. Much love to you, brother. I appreciate you joining. Jackson has shown good leadership qualities in his developing lineup, playing with Mudryk Matson from the very first time. This is a good thing to have. He's very vocal, which you could argue the fact that he's vocal will help enhance his relationship with his teammates. Kuchila, even though you don't want Vlahovic, the fact the player, again, himself has expressed he does not want to play for us. Do you really want a player who does not want to play for us? But I'm seeing conflicting reports. There's a report that says he's open to negotiating with Chelsea if the two clubs can come to an agreement. So it's everywhere, really. But if in fact he doesn't want to play for us, why we shouldn't waste our time. And Constantine Dante, much love to you. How can a serious club blighted by injuries last season, want to go ahead and sign the injury-plagued players who are currently injured. I already think some one word is missing there. Poch isn't asking for those players. I think we're just considering them because they are smart and cheap options. And again, that's what I and argue. We should have went for Ramos. He was less of a risk than Vlahovic. Okay, but I think we already have too many players of that simple profile. If you're talking about Gonzalo Ramos, I thought you were sleeping. No, it wasn't. I was sleeping really, but that's because my alarm was set to this afternoon and not that morning. And me believing that I had scheduled the show to start at 12 noon my time, not knowing it was 4 a.m. Ooh, so it is making us up for missing the church last Sunday. Good job, coach. God and wife comes first. I appreciate you saying that, brother. I think we're going to miss Nkunku against Liverpool. I don't think so, really. I think we'll be all right. How are you doing, Patrick Dresser? I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you joining. Let's see what else we have here. JC, okay. Let me see. After I've finished the training, I will be here and ready to host a show as a contingency plan in case Kachila isn't available. Thank you so much for letting them know that we're working on it. And JC and Jerry C he's really doing well. It's been a pleasure watching the show tonight, and I cannot wait to join you guys in the morning show. All right, Ben, see you later, brother. Much love to you. I appreciate you finding the time to join. Matson isn't a winger. Once again the season commences, you will all you all will know. Play the man in his preferred role and play a specialized winger on the wings. Poch will learn the hard way. Here's the thing. I don't think, again, I get your opinion, but I'm not concerned. If the manager feels like he's more suitable playing in an advanced role, I'm all for it. And here's the thing. In terms of him playing as a defender, he doesn't have the height. There are other issues, reasons why the manager may have decided, there's a good player in him, but he's not comfortable deploying him as a defender. It's his decision, and I think by the time the transfer window shuts, would have enough players that if he falters in an advanced role, would have an alternative that come in and do an even better job, if that makes sense. Let's move on to the next item lined up here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. We need to act fast. I think Kudus is gone, but we'll get to that in a bit. Let's see the next item we have lined up here. 53 likes. Let's get it to 100 and ship for 200. Then 300 if you can. I'd really appreciate it. Asset to trigger Tyler Adams, £20 million release clause. It's specifically £20 million of relegation release clause. So he had an exit strategy in case Leeds United gets relegated, and that's the case now. So it's easy for him. Unlike the case of Moises Caicedo, Brighton convinced him to put pen to paper for a new long-term contract without, again, his agent went ahead and agreed to that, and he himself agreed to it without an exit strategy. Now he's stuck at Brighton, and clubs, again, interested club have to pay the valuation of the player to get him to put pen to paper for them. It's gonna get messy because it looks like he's rebelling. He's present, you can say he's pushing to leave, but let's see how that ends up. There are positive signs that there's a chance he will most likely join Chelsea Football Club, in my opinion. But that's, by the way, what else do we have here? Tyler Adams, not a bad option. I get it. A lot of people are concerned that he's still out injured, but beyond that, he's a fine player. He's a natural born leader, and his numbers for Leeds United ain't that bad, really. In my opinion, actually, you could say excellent for a DM. And it doesn't matter if we get him and still get Moises Caicedo. But here's where I'd argue: if we're going to get Moises Caicedo, I'd be content with us keeping Leslie Ugochukwu, but that is just my opinion. Let's see a few items here before we move to the next item we have lined up. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. Is Tyler Adams coming to Chelsea? I can't say he's coming at this point. What I read, the report I read reads something to the effect of Chelsea set it to. Yeah, you have it on the screen there. Actually, apologies. It's there. You can see it. The report reads that Chelsea are set to trigger Tyler Adams' £20 million pounds release clause, according to Simon Jones. And the release clause again is said to be relegation release clause. So he's a smart guy. He had one, unlike Caicedo and his agent, who made a mistake and signed a new long-term contract without an exit strategy. Now you can say he's stuck at Brighton. Come on, people, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Always providing excellent content, and that is coming from bro, my brother that I love so much. Thank you for saying that. 55 likes. Remember, we're shooting for 300 likes today. Let's make it happen. I never see you stream at 8. What time? I will prefer Paradis. That's because maybe one of Pochettino's favorites. He likes him. But let's see what the club does. Rumors are that we're interested in signing him, and I think he'd come for us. He'd come for cheap because it hasn't really worked out for him at PSG. But here's where I had an issue. The fact that he rejected it because before he went to PSG, we were pushing to sign him too, but he refused to come to us and went to PSG. And now it hasn't worked well. It hasn't worked out for him at PSG. They even had to loan him to Juventus, and that didn't work out too. Who is this smart director who puts exit strategy in place? Yeah, exactly. Contracts for relegation. I bet they they would get relegated if players, you could say, earn more due to becoming almost a free agent. Yeah. It's a smart thing to do. Big up to you too, Keishan. I appreciate you joining the show. Let's get Adams and Caicedo. Yeah, and the good thing is that I heard, according to my translation of Fabrizio Romano's report, is that we're looking to get them both. Getting Tyler Adams doesn't mean we're not going to get Moises Caicedo. And when you see a smart deal, a set of Tyler Adams for just £20 million, I'd go for him. He's a fine player and he knows what he's doing. So I'm not concerned that he's not an alternative. The fact is, he's not an alternative to Moises Caicedo. The club wants them both. I am confident that our performance against Liverpool on Sunday will pleasantly surprise a lot of people. Let me remix that. There'll be 6 days left to the new season. I'm confident. I think we're fine. Tyler's defensive starts are impressive, even though he doesn't have the size, but he is a very physical. For 20 million, I'd take him off for depth. If we are not going for another DM, we need another Captain America, and plus it's business too. But I'd rather we keep Leslie Ugochukwu because he's more, again, you could say more height. He's more height than him, and he's proven. I don't know what else we're trying to see from Leslie Ugochukwu. I get it. He joined late. Maybe the manager needs time to evaluate him even more. But let's see. Kutila assess him maybe. Imagine we have Santos Adams, Enzo Caicedo. So what's happening to Gallagher? I think he's gone. It's not a good sign, really, but that's just my opinion. But let's see what happens. Apparently, Poch wants 2 midfielders, Caicedo, and another one, a winger and a striker as well. I think if we sign Caicedo, I'd rather we keep Leslie Ugochukwu. Just with Tyler Adams, I'm not gonna be too fast. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 58 likes. Come on, people. Let's get it to 100 as soon as possible and shoot for 200. I'd really appreciate that. Caicedo should have got Brighton relegated, but I don't think he has a smart agent to put an exit strategy on his new contract. I think you can say the agent maybe did him dirty. It just sounds as if maybe he took a bribe and just encourage him not to do that. Caicedo will come by tomorrow. I hope that happens. Ibrahim Blessing Sese, nice to see you. We should go for Adams and Alvarez. Alvarez maybe, I don't know. Rumors are that we're still interested in signing him. Adams scored a goal or was assist against CFC last season. He was bullying our midfield. He's an excellent player. He's a leader, a natural born leader, actually. Wish we signed Kudus as well. Seems like a great and a powerful player. If he goes to Brighton, they will sell him for 100 million. If he goes there, let's hope he has the sense to have a release clause. He's an African, and I think his agent certainly will be paying attention to Moises Caicedo's situation and the sort of player he is. I think they'll be seeing Brighton as a stepping stone. Not really, you can say the club, not really the ideal club for him because he's a fine player and they know we wanted to sign him. Arsenal wanted to sign him, so the picture is clear. Kudus is a big player, and Brighton most likely a stepping stone for him until proven otherwise. Let's see what else we have here. Yes, Leslie should stay. He's a fine player. That is in our opinion. But let's see what the manager does. He isn't gone yet. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. Leslie will play for sure. I trust Podge. DJ, do you know? Okay, question for you there, DJ. Adams was almost made Gallagher cry. Almost made Gallagher cry last time he played against us. He's a fine player. Again, how well he did at the World Cup also, I loved. Again, he did very well for the United States at the World Cup. Gabriel, sorry, bro, who is, okay, you're having a conversation there. Let's see. Coach Webb, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Coach, where's your panel? I'll bring them on. I don't want a situation where we'll be going back and forth topic. I will address some items myself, and then once it gets to the Caicedo discussion, we'll talk about that. A stepping stone that cost 96 million. No, I'm talking about Mohammed Kudus to Brighton. So yeah, they're not going to pay. At most they're going to pay is I think 45 million pounds, or so, not even up to 45 million pounds in my opinion. Yeah, scouts, they're working. Yep. DJ, again, a conversation between you two there. Keep dropping likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. I sincerely do appreciate you all joining the show. I want to take care of something quickly here, and I'll be back with you guys. Let's see. Yep, I made a mistake there. Oh my goodness. Okay, there you go. We have it back. Let's see what else we have here. Keep it going, people. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes still go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, yep. Gone through that one, and this one here says Europa Conference League draw is tomorrow. Hope Aston Villa makes it through the group stage. I think they can with Unai Emery. That's his specialty, really. The Prince is here. Big up the Prince. I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you joining this afternoon for me. Probably morning for you. It depends on where you are. Let's see. We should try to wrap up Olise's deal so he's available for Liverpool. I don't think he plays. I don't think no new signing from today onward will play against Liverpool. It depends on who you are, but I'm not too sure that happens. If you watch Man City versus Arsenal, one thing shouts out physicality and athleticism. Yeah, Bobby will be happy. We'll be proud of you, Adebayo. We need muscle. Tyler is just a cheap steak signing. Liv Santos and Leslie to play. Okay. We should forget Kudus. Let's see, Coach. You are having more shows now. How many more do you plan to have? A lot more. We'll be streaming quite a lot. But I've been struggling of late. We should be actually streaming more, but because usually it's I alone and my boys are home and I work from home, it's been difficult these days. But once my in-laws come, we'll be doing even more. Gabriel, again, just keep going there. Kachila, let's switch past the topics of fast, and then yeah, let's get to that one as soon as possible. Timing for Jerry's show. Who will be the panelists? He will be selecting the panelists. He won't be having too many panelists. Usually he will be taking the audience one by one, but you have to be on camera to be part of Jerry's show. Let's see what else we have here. The players have 2 days off and will be back for training on Tuesday. I usually don't like players taking a break. I have to be honest. I am Ibrahim Blessing Sese from Sierra Leone. My West African brother. I appreciate you joining. And a Chelsea fan, much love to you. Please invite all the Chelsea fans to come join us here. Much love to you, brother. I thank you so much. Tyler Adams is very physical player. Yeah, I agree with you. He's physical. You don't watch him. Okay, that's a good conversation there. I like to see such debates there. But we're here to learn from each other and not to fight. Let's see the next item we have lined up. You see, again, you see what I did there? It's lined up in a way. I'm seeing something, but it's a video. Why is Fabrizio Romano's video saying Caicedo and João Felix boom? And I'm not sure. That is just, you can say, clickbait, but I'm not seeing any tweet. Hold on. That is, let me see. I'm not seeing any tweet with regards to that there. If you said if anything new, probably talking about how Caicedo is rebelling, how he's refused to train or something. Again, close to that. Let me see if there's any new development there. Simon Phillip, does he have anything new? Okay, Mohammed Kudus. Okay, this says suggestions Mohammed Kudus to Brighton could help Chelsea in an attempt to sign Moises Caicedo. So there's nothing new, and I can't stop the show to watch Fabrizio Romano's video to see why he's saying Moises Caicedo. Boom. But that's by the way, this says Brighton and Ajax. Okay, I think I can bring in the panelists from here. We've gotten to the nitty-gritty, as somebody would say. This says Brighton and Ajax have an agreement in place for Mohammed Kudus. The deal between clubs is advanced since July. Always have been waiting for the player, so it's not today actually. And the total fee is around 40 million euros, as David Austin reported. It depends on the player now, waiting to agree on personal terms. So they've been there. They've always been there, even when the rumors emerged that we're trying to hijack that deal from them. They have always been there. So now we're talking about Mohammed Kudus. Here's my theory. I think we let them sign Mohammed Kudus because we have a gentleman agreement. We let them sign Kudus, and they let us sign Moises Caicedo. That is just my opinion, but I want to hear your thoughts. Why do you think? Again, we're not too serious about. We're not pushing hard to get to sign Kudus, of which we heard that he's actually close to agreeing personal terms with us, which means we were there. We've been there, and Brighton have always been there. Maybe we spoke with them, and we agreed. We had a gentleman's agreement to let them sign Kudus, and then they let us have Caicedo. After all, Caicedo wants to leave them. But that is just my opinion. I want to hear your thoughts there. What do you think is happening there? Chat is not allowed to be integrated into chats, please. Wow. I saw Arsenal winning the Community Shield. Yeah, congratulations to them. Yes, so Panda, nice to see you. Appreciate you joining, brother. Yes, I will, and we should try to wrap up Adams though. It's not going to be a bad signing, coach. Why is there a requirement to be on camera? It's a different show. But maybe it's just talk with him. If maybe he decides he doesn't want people to be on camera, it's a different show. And in my case, during the Blue Morning shows, we allow people to join and not be on camera. And there's also the daily roundup show. You have to be on camera to be part of it. But this is not the daily roundup show. This is just what's supposed to be. This episode was supposed to be the Blue Morning show, but it was postponed till this point because of the mistake in scheduling. Coachella, please ignore the booms. They are clickbait. The keyword is here we go. Yeah, thank you for letting me know that. Guys, like the video. Monesa, nice to see you people. 67 likes. Let's get it to 100 and shoot for 200, then 300. The aim is to get it to 300 today. And believe me, people, we can actually do that. Let's see. Even me, I saw Fabrizio say Caicedo and Felix. Boom. Yeah, but it's a video. I think it's clickbait, really. Coachella, honestly, I will take back Felix. I don't think we can afford him because there are other clubs that are interested and willing to pay him a salary. You can say that's you can say 10 times, or you can say, let me say at least 3 times how much would be willing to pay him. We didn't opt not to sign him because he's a bad player. It's just because he's going to be too expensive, and he plays in an area where you could say we don't have too many issues there. We don't need reinforcements there, in my opinion. Let's see what else we have here. I would go for mental. I would go mental if we sign Caicedo and Felix. That's 2 top class players, but Felix probably too expensive for us. Adebayo, I know you love him. I've heard you talk about him before. I know you really do love him. But even before we opted not to sign Felix, if you recall, I said it again 1,000 times on Chelsea Perspective that I don't think we'd go for him because we don't have the luxury to do so. We're actually able to sign some of the players we signed because we're quite sure we're going to make a lot of sales. Kudus deal will help us sign Moises. That's what I believe. I want to get your theory. Why do you think we didn't push that hard to sign Kudus? Because we were close to signing him, according to reports, and we contacted the Ajax and all that. But now the rumors are that he's on the verge of joining Brighton, which to me sounds as if, I think we pulled out because we want them to sign him and to let us sign Moises Caicedo. Clubs do that. Let's see. I just watched a Romano. No boom. The title says boom. If you check, but I understand where you're coming from. No, the deal isn't done. Would have liked seeing Kudus and Caicedo playing together for Chelsea. that would have been nice. Ben Marvelous, nice to see you. We should not let them sign Kudus. Tell them, yeah, gentleman agreement. And once Caicedo signs up, we'll let you buy Kudus. But it's not up to us. Arsenal could swoop in and take Kudus from Ajax. So it's not like it's up to us. But it's just a theory. Again, we look at the situation and we say maybe that's the case. Will you swap Sterling for Felix? Oh yeah, but it's not going to happen. Do you think Atletico Madrid will agree to swap Felix for Sterling? You have to give them some cash too. A lot of cash, actually, even more than 70 million pounds. If that makes sense. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Thank you for the question. As for the panelists, I haven't finalized the selections yet. Anyone interested is welcome to join. Pending Kuchila's approval. No, it's your show. You be the one to say, okay, you can accommodate people. That again, people, panelists don't have to be on camera to be part of the show. Yeah, again, there are aspects. Yeah, you wait for my approval, but not that one in particular. Coach Barley showed Brighton. If you want to act like a big club, I will treat you like one and go for your major targets. That's why we went for Kudus, showed Brighton who we are, because yeah, most likely if you ask if you ask Kudus which of these two clubs would you like to join, he'd choose Chelsea. We pay better, even though our new format of our salary is highly incentivized. But beyond that, we're still paying more than Brighton, if that makes sense. But yeah, good argument there. Let's do an Inter Milan to Atletico Madrid loan, turn his head loan again. Yeah, I think maybe that will work. Let's see, coach. To have to pass it to what? Just go away. I think that's there's some examinations you have to pass sometimes to join overseas schools. But I'm gonna move on to that. Let's see what else we have lined up here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 69 likes. Let's get it to 100 and shoot for 200 as soon as possible. The likes do go a long way. For those of you that are watching, but for one reason or the other, you're not able to participate in the chat, just remember, we do appreciate you. Anybody else has anything else to say with regards to us not that serious about signing Mohammed Kudus? You go ahead, drop it in the chat. Let's get your theory. Otherwise, we're moving to a new topic. Let's see the next item we have lined up here. Yep, you see the transition is seamless. We're going from Kudus, which you could argue we're letting them sign Kudus, so for them to let us sign Moises Caicedo. Here's this one here. This says the reality is that they are negotiating. They Brighton and Chelsea are negotiating for Caicedo. It is slow, I know, but not up to me or us. And they've called Tyler Adams' agent. Chelsea this time have called Tyler Adams' agents. He's responding to somebody, my friend. Then if it changes, I will do my best to let you know. That's him. You can say responding to somebody, asking him questions with regards to Chelsea's pursuit of Moises Caicedo, and it's as clear as day there. Chelsea are still negotiating with Brighton, which means that Brighton wants to sell. Because if Brighton doesn't want to sell Moises Caicedo, would pull out. Again, we would have pulled out a long time ago, but we're still there. As I've always said, we're getting positive signals, and that's why we're still there. But that's number one. We move on to the next one. Now we're talking about Moises Caicedo. Let's try as much as we can to keep the topics aligned, please. I appreciate you all. And these are from Mark H. Let's say, not convinced the club is a serious considering Olise or Adams. Both rehabbing from hamstring surgery. Vlahovic out for groin. Can use any of them. We cannot use any of them first half of this season. Wait January. It all depends. Again, I'm going to say this. It's not up to me. This says a tough test of English as a foreign language. Jerry's Shakespeare skills will be a challenge for us. Moreover, when we make so many spending errors, well, again, what happen? It's natural. I keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 72 likes, 28 more to get it to 100. Let's make it happen as soon as possible. So, Bobby, we're talking. I delayed sharing the link so that we start gradually. They signed Mohammed Kudus, and my theory is that they signed him. We let them sign Mohammed Kudus because we learned a few days ago that yeah, we were on the verge of agreeing personal terms with Mohammed Kudus. Now we're hearing that he's on the verge of joining Brighton. I'm saying maybe there's an agreement that both clubs have agreed. We'll let you sign Kudus, but you let us get Mohammed Kudus. Let's take it one by one. We get to the end of it. How he isn't part of Brighton's. If the game has not been played, that Moises Caicedo isn't part of Brighton's squad. But we'll get to that in a bit. Let's start with Mohammed. Do you want to speak about that, or do you want to jump? You can say this one from Fabrizio Romano. We have subsequent items lined up that are aligned. Will take us gradually to the deep end of the topic. But you go ahead, Bobby. Big up to you. I hope you're well.
Big up, Coach. Big up. I'm for the first time quite upbeat about this. There's pressure on Brighton, definitely. The way De Zerbi's talking, them coming out with all these stories, we're trying to preserve him for his hamstring and all this and that, and the grandmother. I think, and quite rightly so, 90 million for a player that costs you 4 million is very, very difficult to sniff at, honestly. I don't care who you are, 100 is so close to your 100 target anyway. And it is very, very big profit. And it makes sense that we've said to them, look, Kudus, because Kudus hasn't even agreed personal terms with them. And, we said, look, Kudus wants to come to us, but we can back off. We give you the money for Caicedo, you use it and get Kudus. That makes absolute sense to us, to me. Something is happening. I don't know what, I don't want to be disappointed. And, you never know. You might turn around tomorrow and you hear, oh, Chelsea's bid 90 million and Brighton said no, which would be very stupid of them. Very, very stupid of them, because it makes no sense at this point. So to me, it's clear something's cooking. We need to get our players registered by next Friday anyway. So possibly Monday, Tuesday, I think this deal will be agreed. And everybody can move on and just get on with their lives.
And if we're being, you could argue that both clubs know what they're doing. They don't just want a situation where we pay them that much money, and then when they go to get a replacement, the selling club will know that they have the money and ask them to pay premium. Clubs do that.
Do to them what they do to us. Yeah, true. They're trying to be smart with the timing of when they get the deal done, because everybody knows they'll have close to 100 million burning in their pocket, added to the 25 for people like Sanchez and is it 50 plus for the other midfielder? What's his name, please?
They're signing midfielder from where?
McAllister.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So Brighton's made some money, and of course they don't want it advertised, because Ajax might turn around and said, okay, by the way, we change our mind, Kudus is 65 million now. So, which is a slight problem West Ham is having with some of their deals. Everybody knows of their 105 million for Declan Rice, and so they're having at least 5 million added on players that normally would not have cost quite that much. But I'm encouraged by this. I think we could be onto the end game, and having watched the Community Shield, and it's so important for us to get this player for our squad. The squad needs to be strong. I think he will strengthen the squad. He shouldn't be the only purchase. There should be at least one more. But getting him in is a very, very big plus for us. And Mr. Pochettino, So let's wait and see what happens. I'm encouraged anyway. I'm very
Yeah,
encouraged.
and I appreciate you, Bobby, not to drag us into the deep end now because we'll get to it. Thank you so much for understanding what I meant by that. Jesse, that's my bro. Adebayo Makunju talking to you there. Let's see, Gabriel A. I was thinking the same coach, the CFC move out of the way of Brighton to sign Kudus and they sell a Caicedo for less than the infamous 100 million. Yeah, clubs do that all the time. But I get it. My bro, what's his name? The Bluetooth game, gentlemen, he again, I responded to one of my comments on Twitter saying, yeah, gentlemen's agreement, agreement isn't that again, isn't it? I said yes, and again, his response was, that doesn't hold up. But that's, by the way, Kachila, have you? Yep, I've seen that. We have it lined up. We'll go to that in a bit. Please, if you don't mind, I don't want to read it out so I don't give it away. Let's see what else we have here. Eugene, I appreciate you, Eugene. And Eugene, I have to apologize to you again. When I didn't see you for a while, I had to go check the banned people from the channel because we suspected somebody may have banned you, and banned you from the channel. And it turned out that was the case. But welcome back. Always nice to have you here. Agile Indica just says, hey, good evening to you too. I hope you're doing well. I feel you YouTubers are pushing hard for Caicedo. Get Lewis and Lavia. Let's see what happens there. It's the hope that kills you, unfortunately. But you have to stay strong. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. Let's get to the next item here. Nice to have Bob find out. Next one. This says on player side. This is good news because we've been complaining that Caicedo himself, he's not pushing. He's not pushing as much as we hope him to be pushing, but it looks like he's doing that now. And at the same time, he's doing it on a respectful, you can say, in a respectful way. On player side, the message is clear. He wants to complete the move to Chelsea. At terms were already agreed back in May. 80 million not enough. Chelsea need to improve that, according to Fabrizio Romano on Instagram. But we're not willing, to go anything beyond that. But I think, Bobby, you've already, again, alluded to the fact that the player himself is pushing. I think we have all the more telling reports to delve into, to dissect and analyze, to come to a sensible conclusion. Mark Edge says we could use a Kudus type player with Nkunku. Nkunku isn't traditionally a 10. I get it. I've always called maybe he should play deeper or in behind the striker or on the flanks, because he's an explosive player, that there is more to his game. If you play him as number 9, you'd be wasting that talent, even in a fluid approach, if that makes sense. We could use a player, a Kudus type of player with Nkunku out for weeks. We already have the personal terms with Kudus and groundwork with Ajax, but I'd rather we sign Caicedo than Nkunku. So if in fact we let them sign, if in fact we're letting them sign Kudus for them to allow us sign Moises Caicedo from them, I'd take it because Caicedo plays in an area of priority for us, honestly. Let's see. Keep dropping the likes on the keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go along with Kudus is good. I like him. I like Kudus. He's very physical too. Caicedo, no. Wow. That's why I miss Eugene. Never hide his opinions there. 25 more likes to get it to 100. Let's make it happen. Remember, we're shooting for 300 likes. Let's get there as soon as possible. Let's look at the next item we have. And I'd really like to hear why you don't like Moises Caicedo. I want to hear that from you. Okay. Let me move on from that. Let's see what the next item we have lined up, so we can move on from that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Let's see. Give me 1 second there. We have this one here. We go. It gets more interesting. It gets real. As some Americans would say, SHIT gets real. Moises Caicedo not in the squad today comes with a clear message from the player. He wants to leave. Chelsea have to improve a bid to make the deal happen. And here's the thing. I want to get Bobby's opinion here. He wants to leave. I get it. He doesn't have a buyer clause. If they force him to keep, that would be a serious issue for them. But if you want to come in now, or if you want to wait for me to get subsequent Helen reports, fine. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's crystal clear that he wants to leave, that's for sure. And I think he's pushing, but he has to push respectfully because he signed the contract that has created this problem. So, it's all very well him, people say, no, he should go on strike and this and that. He has to be careful. He signed a contract with them and they're not really doing anything wrong. It's like you go and you go to, I don't know what stores you use there in America these days, but you go to your local store and you pay for something. I mean, if they don't give you the goods, you feel cheated because you've sort of, by paying for it, you've signed a contract, as it were. So he agreed to stay with them. Now he doesn't want to. So he has to find more subtle ways to put pressure. And to me, honestly, I mean, we've been following football for a very, very long time. It's extremely clear that something is happening. He's not playing in their game today. De Zerbi saying, was directly asked, if you don't see him in training on Monday, how would you feel? He's like, well, if he goes, we get someone else. So it's not his problem. That's so. There's so many telltale things. It would be a surprise, not to mention a disappointment, if it doesn't go through. But I think we've gone beyond that now. It wouldn't even make sense for Brighton to hang on to this player.
It wouldn't. It would be a huge risk for them. DJ, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through the comments because they are aligned. So let's not go through them one by one. Then I'll come to you, brother, if you don't mind. Hello to you, Trauma. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join. And if you're watching, if you're using a Chrome browser, you'd see the heart icon at the bottom, 100% icon, the heart icon, and then something like that. What's that called? Is that the flower? And then the smiling emoji. You can click on them. That would trigger the YouTube algorithm. I'd really appreciate that. So DJ, pay attention to all the reports we're looking at right now. This one here, I'm sure you've seen that yourself. And this one also, Brighton director Paul Baba. He says Moises Caicedo had a slight hamstring injury late in training and was pulled out for that reason with the Premier League season just a week away. It makes no sense to risk him today. We are looking forward to Moises starting the season with us. He's a Brighton player under a long-term contract via Brighton's website. To me, this is absolute horse doo-doo, but clubs do that. This says, following Brighton's statement of Moises Caicedo missing their friendly versus Rayo Vallecano due to a slight hamstring injury, there are still counterclaims. Caicedo didn't want to play. This is what I'm believing here. Again, he's not injured and wants to move to Chelsea as soon as possible. This is Ben Jacobs reporting that. And the most interesting aspect of the whole thing, Chelsea will still remain interested. But the one I'm looking for here is the response from De Zerbi. Let me see. There you go. This is when De Zerbi was asked, do you expect to return to training?
I'm sorry to cut in, but I just have to say this. If a player is staying at a club and he has, it happens sometimes, there's a little sort of muscular twitch and they're like, okay, I won't play this game. But if it's a friendly, they will come and sit on the bench, won't they? You'll see them there with the team. But this guy hasn't even gone with the team. So I think that's just gamesmanship. He wants to go.
I think he wants to, and they know that, and I think they want to let him go. So, DJ, just give me a few, just two. I want this particular item. I'm going to stop with this so you can come in. You've seen everything from Moises Caicedo missing from their squad for the game against Rayo Vallecano. The president or director's comment, which is absolute nonsense. Clubs do that all the time. And we said the same thing when Ajax said Kudus was missing from training because he has a slight injury. We knew that simply means he's gone. How can Caicedo cost more than Tonelli? I don't know. Let's see. After watching today's match between Arsenal and Man City, I became more concerned about our midfield Look at how strong. I'm not concerned, really. Oh, yeah, catch you, but you have every right to be concerned. That's you. According to a report from Ecuador, a deal for $120 million, £95 million is already in place, expected to be official next week. And we said something to that effect too. There's a chance we've agreed not to make it public so that Brighton don't have to pay premium for Moises Caicedo's replacement. It's common sense. Coach, an injury to Caicedo can cost them 100 million. They better wrap it up in cotton. So they're lying. Tonali has been bank average for Newcastle. Isaiah says, Isaiah, I appreciate you joining. If it is your first time here, be sure to subscribe and be part of the community. Caicedo is a great midfielder, but Brighton is asking far too much. We love to troll anyone who is not a blue. Coach, who is the Felix? We're not interested in him. The Felix has come and gone. João Felix is somebody just mentioned he would have loved us to keep him, except if they're talking about another Felix. I don't know. I am from South Africa, my bro. So here, let's read this report before I bring in DJ. It says, do you expect Caicedo to return to training? He was asked. De Zerbi was asked. De Zerbi responds, I don't know if Moises leaves. We will. I don't know if Moises leaves. We will find another important player. If Moises stays, I will be happy for us. It's not my problem. At Brighton, it's possible to lose some players. We always move forward. I think he's trying to tell the truth and at the same time being cautious. But that's just my opinion. So DJ, you have the floor. Tell us what do you make of the whole defense of the squad? And this telling us the injured and there were possibly involved for rap that he's not possible. Now this from De Zerbi. Your thoughts, DJ, you have the floor.
Yeah, big up to Chilla, big up to Bobby and everyone in the comments. Thanks always for having me on your show as always. It's
big up to you too, brother, mate. Your family here, so it's your home. Feel at home.
Much appreciated, brother. Now listen, this whole Caicedo deal, I think we've said it for a long time now, haven't we? We've been saying it for time now that this deal will happen. It's just dallying for too long for my liking, and I think finally now it's so funny that they've tried literally almost everything, haven't they? They've even gone on Sky Media Sport. They've even gone on Sky, coming out and saying apparently that he's no team is going to meet the 100 million. And all that, they were trying everything in the book, but I think we always knew this deal was going to happen. And I think it's just like ever since the deal was obviously since this deal has been agreed with Kudus, apparently deals in principle for him to go over to Brighton. That all of a sudden now they're going to release Caicedo. Caicedo, I think, has made it perfectly clear to them that even though he's behaved good in training or whatever, I think he's made it clear to the hierarchy that he wants to make this move to Chelsea. And once a player tells the club that, regardless of whatever they might have in terms of the contract, whatever there might be, if he's got a promise in place with the club that they said they were going to let him go, then clearly they've got to obviously live up to what they've said. But obviously we all know, I think we said this in the beginning, didn't we, Kachila, that the one mistake Caicedo's representatives done in the beginning was they did not put a buy of what the amount should be to buy him. And I think when you don't have that kind of thing in place, obviously you give everything all goes to the club. They can then say what they want for him. And now I think Chelsea have met the expectation, the price. I think I've heard 93 million. I've now seen one of your comments saying 90. It's someone else in the comments saying 94, 95 million. But it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And I think he'll be in the team before the Liverpool match come next Sunday. And I think we need to get this. I think on our part of it, I think we've done everything well. We put in some bids in. But it looks like in some ways we're going to meet Brighton halfway. And I think maybe this is what the situation was, meeting the club halfway. And I think we've done that now. And I think you'll see this deal wrapped up in the next 72 hours. I expect this deal to be wrapped up in the next 72 hours. So, I'm happy about it, but it's just taking its time, hasn't it? We can now look at other business that we want to do as well at the same time.
Yeah, do you think we intentionally let them move on with their pursuit of Mohammed Kudus? Just you say so that you say maybe we have a gentleman's agreement in place.
Yes.
Let you get Kudus and you let us have Caicedo. Do you think that's the case?
I think that was because I think we've got to remember. I think it was only last week we all saw, or 2 weeks ago, in fact, that there was a deal in principle agreed, or to say, personal terms were agreed with the player from Kudus' side, and it looked like we were going to make this deal we were going to make this deal happen. I think all it was is to meet their 40 million price tag is what they want for Kudus. And in the end, I think we were going to do that. But I think Chelsea, always, as I always said, obviously the agreement must have been in place of saying, look, you're going after one of our targets. You know, if you really, really want Caicedo, then don't go after or don't go for Kudus because we want to go. But then I look at the situation, I say to myself, Kuchila, well, we were not the only club. Let's be honest here. We were not the only club that was looking at Kudus. I can think of 2 other clubs that were in the running for him, okay, as well as Brighton, right? So, you know, for them to then say, oh, we must have this, I guess because we want Caicedo, they must have come to terms of saying, okay, well, you know, you go for Caicedo, we'll give you Caicedo if you just leave as a free pass to go and get the Kudus deal done. So maybe Chelsea have got that kind of agreement in place. I mean, listen, I didn't mind Kudus. I said it from the beginning when we spoke about him. You know, that I think he's a terrific player. I think he'd have done well in the Chelsea team. I think he can play in midfield. He can play as a right winger as well. He can play in numerous positions. He'd have been ideal for us. But my choice has always been, I think all the Chelsea fans, it's always been Caicedo, because I think we just think he could just really do well with Enzo Fernandez in that midfield. And I think now that the deal is drawing near and it's all happening, I think you will see a domino effect where Chelsea will actually get the Caicedo deal done, and then you probably end up seeing things happening with Kudus. However, what I will say is, and I've said this already, do not rule out Arsenal and do not rule out Manchester United in this Kudus deal either, because I've got a feeling that one of those 2 clubs may come in for him as well. We just got to make sure we get this Caicedo deal done and over the line. Maybe even Liverpool could even come possibly in for him as well. So, you know, until this Caicedo deal is all wrapped up, the Kudus situation could still be, you know, it could still be lingering out there.
Yeah, it could be. Let me catch up.
Kudus,
Yeah, go ahead, Bobby.
I was going to say the only thing about that is that Arsenal have dragged their feet about Kudus because they don't quite have the money. Yeah. Man United are focused more on Amrabat, which is probably going to be a much better and needed deal for them. So Brighton at the moment have a bit of an advantage. And why I think the Caicedo deal will go through quickly is that the sooner they can get that added money to get that over the line and give Kudus encouragement to reach personal terms, the better. So they will be keen now for Chelsea to make a bid so they can say, yes, give us the money, let me go get Kudus. You know what I'm saying?
And I mean, there are too many ways to see it. Let me catch up with what we have in the chat. I want to have Bobby speak about the Zervi comment. He alluded to it a bit, but he hasn't. Again, I want to hear him analyze the comments from Roberto De Zervi, the current Brighton coach. But DJ, thank you so much. That was very detailed, and I appreciate that. How can they sell Michael Olise for 40 million, but 100 million for Moises Caicedo? Makes no sense. Okay, let me help you make sense of that. Michael Olise had a buyer clause on his contract, and when a player has a buyer clause, once you pay that, the club will sell. The only issue will be payment terms. How are you going to pay the payments? You can say in beats or together and all of that. So Michael Olise has that. Caicedo doesn't have that, so that's a huge difference there. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along. We appreciate you all finding the time to join the show. Let's see. Yeah, he's a genuine Chelsea fan, but he likes he's a straight shooter, doesn't beat about the bush. Lets you know his opinion as it is. Let's see what else we have here. I will miss him at CFC. You're talking about Kovacic. I think he will cook at Man City. He's made again. Even if I didn't watch the Charity Shield game, but I saw the highlights. So even if he played, again, I can't say how well he did or whether he did badly or he performed badly. But here's the thing: I think he will cook at Man City. Pep will now reinforce his squad. Watch Man City bring in quality. Yeah, again, I know he'd do that, but my focus is Chelsea, and I know we'll do well. Adebayo Makunju, I love you, bro. But you're looking to fight me this afternoon, brother. But much love to you. I'm just kidding anyway. Kova is one guy, genuinely nice guy, and I wish him well for the future. We'll applaud him. Again, always at the breach. I think he'll do well for them. I think, okay, let's see what else we have here. Okay, anything aligned with what we're talking about here. Secret Confession. And I want to say hello to my friend and bro, Red Devil Studios. We waiting for that collab to happen, bro. When is it gonna happen? But much love to you. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. What will be Chelsea's midfield against Liverpool? I think it will be most likely Enzo Fernandez. Certainly with either. I'm not too sure. With either Conor Gallagher or Santos, either of the two, or maybe would be shocked to see Leslie Lukaku play, but that is just my opinion. Brighton won't budge unless it's 100 million. Let's see if that's the case. We'll find out, but I don't think we'll pay them 100 million. It would be nonsensical for Brighton to dictate to Chelsea on who they can target in the market. A powerhouse like us would never allow that, but because we want something from them, maybe would allow that for that sake. We move on. Jersey says the combination will vary based on the formation Poch decides to employ. I think I agree with you. It could involve Enzo and Gallagher, or in the case of 4-3-3, it might feature Enzo, Santos, and Gallagher, the three of them. But yeah, you never know. Let's see. Caicedo announced tomorrow. CA Mafia, possibly. If that happens, I take it. It's 93 plus Adams. Okay, is that who's on Ecuadorian journalist, and deal will be done on Monday. And this was on Friday. Remember, the Kudus story to Kudus to the Brighton story will only buy Kudus if Caicedo is set to leave. Wow. If we pay 100 million for Caicedo, we will be docked in the market for the unforeseen future. I don't like Vlahovic. Oh, you've said that a billion times, and I know Deserve is still crying in his room. Alberto Gonzalez, Casanova Garcia, I love you. Appreciate you joining. I hope you've already smashed the like button and have subscribed to the channel, because that's your first time here. Big up to you too, my brother. Good content as always. I appreciate you. I can't wait for the collab to happen. Maybe let's talk. You're a Liverpool fan. Maybe you should be on the panel here for the match preview show. I also have my doubts on Vlahovic. We all do. But here's the thing. If getting Vlahovic is the only way we get rid of Romelu Lukaku, let's make it happen. I take him. He's still 23. Remember, he's not 30. Big day tomorrow. Let's see what happens tomorrow. I appreciate you joining. Any news on Tyler Adams? Nope. We're just set to trigger the buyout clause. And what a smart guy he is. His agent is. Coach Kova was okay today. Havertz was usual Havertz. And Mount hasn't been good for Man United. Coach, I feel we made our rivals weaker. You can argue that. That's why I want to see it as a Chelsea fan, really. As a Chelsea fan, just give me French players, and I am okay with that. I've learned that, and you've already said we're going to win the Champions League because we have lots of French players within our ranks. Metaphors Doom, nice to see you. We don't have any world-class players. Wow, some argument right there. Ayawahi is good, but I don't think it comes to Chelsea again. It's lots of story there. We want a backup for Christian Nkunku. We don't use the term backup here, and I'm going to explain one more time for those of you that are listening. If you get the backup, you are admitting that once the moment the starting player gets injured, whoever comes in is a player of a lesser quality, and then the overall quality of the team will drop. So we prefer the term we need competition for a certain player A, B, C. So when player A isn't playing, player B comes in, does an equally good job or an even better job. That's why we don't use the term backup. We want to, you can say, drive that mentality within the Chelsea fan base, and would be better off. And that's why Man City, whoever comes in, they don't falter, because they don't have backups. They have competition in each position. Chelsea wants both Caicedo and Adams. Yep, that's what, again, I learned, and I'm all for it. They will pay 220 million for a midfield pivot. No one knew 2 seasons ago. Yeah, but they've arrived. You could argue these owners love getting fleeced. That's just your opinion, but I understand where you're coming from, Coach. Have you ever tried to obtain a consent from who manager to buy a new car? These accounts are same everywhere, and Brighton are dealing with the top. I think I agree with you. They're driving a narrative that will help them, stories or reports that will help them get what they're asking for. Both signings, no one else was in for as well. Yeah, but things change. It takes like this for a player to emerge or to arrive. For lack of a better term, Ayawahi and Olise will be great. I like Olise very well, and I think we'll get that deal done. Don't want Wahi. Don't care about Strasbourg. Get Vlahovic if Poch wants him. Yeah, but we heard if Poch says no to Vlahovic, the deal will fall through. Jacob Steinbach, West Ham in for Amanda Breuer. I don't think we'll sell him. Can Wahi play on the wings? His attributes show there that he could possibly play on the flanks. Vlahovic is better than Lukaku. Oh yeah, do you need scientists to tell you that? I'm sure you you don't. If you've seen only one French player and he's all good, let's see. I am getting annoyed by these two club models. It's not what I or any other Chelsea fan cares for. But I think we'll get again. You will soon see them doing what we care for. Coach, I saw Turkey played against Crystal Palace. He looked good. Maybe a bit for him later on. Olise injured. Kudus to Brighton. Turkey to Chelsea. Maybe. It may well still happen. I don't know. Watch Fab's video. He said the deal is still on. Nothing new here. I am getting bored with French players as they get injured so easily. Wow. Let's see what else we have here. Pochettino is not convinced about adding Vlahovic to his squad, which means, yeah, we're going to pull out from that one. Question DJ, why is Poch putting pressure on himself by stating that the aim is to win the league? Point is that, again, it will not happen. If the manager tells you it will happen, believe in him and support him. And fans are not even expecting that again win up unless and fans are not expecting us to win the league this season. But if the manager says he can do it, why are you questioning his mentality? DJ, that question is for you.
Yeah, big up to Code Webb as always. Listen, I think the reason why he's reason why he's obviously confident, because I guess it's because we're Chelsea Football Club, and I keep saying this, people keep
and
looking
probably based on the crop of players he has.
Not just that as well, Kuchula, and I'm not aiming this towards Code Webb, by the way. I'm saying it to a lot of the rival fans out there and some of the Chelsea fan base. I think people. I said this on another show earlier on, and Bobby was with me on this show earlier on when I said it. I said it earlier on because Chelsea had a really bad season last year, the season just gone. Everyone just seems to think we're done, we're finished, we're over. I think this mentality, is especially when it comes to our football club, from fans thinking we're done and finished. We're not. If this manager believes in what we can do and the players that we've got, everyone knows we had a crap season last season. No one's, regardless if it was even with Tuchel there, even when Jellyfish Potter came in, right? Yeah, we all knew. Yeah, the season was just rubbish, right?
This just call him
Jellyfish Potter, right? We all know this, brother, right? Yeah, but now with this guy in, he's more confident as a manager. We see what he can do. If he thinks the players can go and deliver, listen, I'm not saying we're going to win the Premiership either, because I think that would be putting a little bit too much on the players. But I do expect us to at least finish within the top four, at least this season. With the players that we've got and the manager that we've got, and possibly win a cup. Maybe that might people think you're asking for too much. I don't think I am, because if we get all our players in that we know we're going to get in for this before the window closes, I don't see why we can't push. I really can't. Not for the title, but at least finishing within that period. But the manager himself knows Chelsea Football Club is all about winning. We're all about winning the trophies, all about winning the big ones. This is probably why I think he's coming out and saying this now, that he's confident within this so that we can go and challenge. And listen, who am I to argue with the manager? Let's see what he thinks. He's obviously got a philosophy in place. He obviously knows, and he also knows what these players can deliver and can do. And he's got the confidence that we can do it. And we can't. I'm not going to doubt him for that. I just think it's confidence, and we should go by that all season. As fans, we should be a bit more positive for next season. I really do think that.
Yeah, I agree. Here's the thing. I've always said it. We'll do well, better than a lot of people expect us to do. How well? That's not what I'm willing to do. But I strongly believe we will do well. But that's, by the way, Bobby, if you're there, your turn now. I want to hear you analyze the Zervi comment. What do you make of it? Because that's the most telling report yet that, something is happening.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, it's not conclusive, but De Zerbi has been talking very aggressively in the past about Caicedo. And this time a direct question was put to him as to whether if he doesn't see Caicedo in training on Monday, what does it mean? And his response was, well, in Brighton, players come and go all the time, and they will find a replacement. Which was quite in contrast to what he has been saying. He's been saying in the past, well, Brighton's Caicedo's our player. We don't want to get rid of him. We'd rather have him and Levi Colwell, all this sort of talk. But he's not saying that now. What he said...
his tone has changed.
totally changed. The subtext of his text is, look, this guy could go on Monday, and we're expecting that, so we're lining up a replacement. That's what I fully interpreted from what he said, and that seems to be the case. Chelsea, people are focused on the 80 million Chelsea bid that was rejected. Of course, they're going to go up more than 80. I think they're going to drop a package in and around 90. I've heard rumors of 93, 95, that sort of thing. I think Brighton will be very stupid not to take it. And he goes, that is a lot of money. That is a lot of money for somebody that you
That's
got for
quite a
4
lot.
million. It is a lot, 4 million. That the profit is extraordinary, and they can do a lot with it. So I think they will be quite keen to get this deal done sooner rather than later. Caicedo's camp want it sooner rather than later. Chelsea want it sooner rather than later. So if it's not done in the early part of this coming week, say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, um, I won't go as far as to say I'll be surprised. I would just say I would be intrigued, really, because it doesn't even make business sense anymore. And so we just have to wait and see. And this is the first time I've actually really felt rather optimistic about the deal. I think this deal can happen. Of course, he's overpriced. We know this. They fleeced us big time of money, but we've done a lot of good business. A lot of good business. We've got a lot of unknown players, young players in, and he's not the only deal we're going to do. I mean, even people like Desasi, he's hardly a young player. We've got him in. Desasi, I don't know, what am I saying? Anyway, we've got him in. Leslie Ugochukwu, we got him in. I mean, there are many good deals we've done this summer. And if we get Caicedo in along with somebody like Olise, wow. Although Olise probably can't really start, and if the medicals feel he will get over his surgery, he can't really start till about October time, but that's fine. I think we can wait for that. Ian Martson, we must give him his extended contract because he can play on the right, he can play in the middle, and he has to be in the team, as well as extend the contract of, I hear we're looking to extend Bashir Humphreys, who may be hanging around because of cover. I'm not sure how good that will be for him in terms of playing week in, week out, but he did nothing wrong in the preseason. So let's see. I think Chelsea fans, I know it's a very anxious time for us, but we need to be a little bit calm now and just wait and see what the ownership, what the sporting directors do from here on in, because they will bid. And I think,
and you could argue they've proven that we can trust them.
Oh yeah, they will drop the money, and Brighton will pick it up. And whether
Let me ask you this, Bobby, since you're still there. Last season, we again Arsenal were in for him, and we were interested also. And I quite remember whether we did put in an official bid or so. We argued that if they keep him, that they'd be keeping an unhappy player and maybe a player that will not, you could say, perform up to expectations. And he ended up emerging as the best player of the season. So now, do you think they'd be willing to keep him and risk, you can say, always, because it has happened before, they kept him against his wish. They even got him to sign a new contract and extend the length of his current contract, an improved salary. Do you think they'd be concerned? Do you think, again, his performance, that the fact he'd be unhappy and you could say maybe underperformed during the course of the season and decide, you know what, let's just get rid of him? It doesn't look like they fear that. That's just us. Again, let me just play a bit of, you would say, be Roger for a moment, and you can say play the devil's advocate. What do you think?
I don't think there's reason to fear him underperforming. I don't think Caicedo is that sort of person, and he's ambitious. He would like to keep his value up. Where the problem is that there is a difference between what happens this season and last season. Last season, he was deceived into one, signing a long contract for a minor bump in his wages, and with the promise that they would let him go in the summer. I believe they did do that. Now, if a good enough offer came in, now a good enough offer has come in, and that offer is about to be increased. And if they refuse it, I think it's dangerous keeping an unhappy player. Anything can happen. I will never forget what this French lad that we had, the defender. I liked him a lot. He was a very good defender for us. But he said something once. He said, "Look, if a player's unhappy, you better just let him go, because he can do anything. He can score an own goal. He can miss a penalty for you in a major final. There could be any number of things that could happen with this player, not to mention how they can be disruptive quietly in the dressing room." So Brighton, I don't think that serves them any interest. I don't think holding somebody under duress because of their contract, somewhere along the line, something happens. You imagine you're working for an employer that you feel hasn't done you right, or isn't paying you right, or you go in every day to work, but going into work when you're demotivated and going into work when you are motivated are two different things. And demotivation definitely affects productivity. And sometimes subconsciously, he may not mean to turn out a stinker, but he will turn out some stinkers, and he'll be wondering, gosh, why isn't my body moving like it normally does? Well, it's because the mind is depressed, and there is a connection between mind, body, and soul. So they have to let this kid go. I can't see any other outcome. To be honest, I can't.
Yep, yep, I do agree with you. If you're watching, if you haven't dropped a like on the stream, we are at 104 likes. I appreciate you all. And I see somebody with a donation there. Please, I'll get to you in a bit. Says, let's ignore the noise by JC. It will get worse because English press does not have CFC pundits. All we should care about is what Poch wants. He wants to win the EPL, and that's it. Let's go for it. That's the spirit I want to see. You don't question the manager's mentality. That we have the manager with the mentality we want. He said he's not into making excuses. He just wants, he knows it's at Chelsea, and at Chelsea it's all about winning. And at Chelsea, every match is important. No friendly. A report claims that actually Caicedo refused to play for Brighton in that Brighton friendly. They are not what they're saying on their site. A top four in a trophy, that's definitely asking too much. But I believe him. The manager says he can win the Premier League. Okay, let's go for it. Everton Crawford, the last time we won the league, we finished 10th. The previous season, no European football, aim high. And if we can be strategic in the market and sign players that well, you can say fill the gaps we have in the team, I think we'll go a long way. Absolutely. Based on the squad talent, we were second to City last season. We can win the league. That should be the mindset. And I like it. So why question the manager's mentality? We want managers with strong mentality, and we have one now. Now we're questioning why he thinks we can win the league. How much did we buy Strasbourg for? I do not know. I think we bought a stake. We didn't buy the club. I believe nearly as much as Caicedo, Brighton are receiving life-changing money. You can argue that. Listen, let's all hope Chelsea will have everything it takes to beat Liverpool next Sunday. I don't want a horrific draw. No matter how, but the Chelsea win. He says that the plan is to win. The manager says that. All right. Good night to you, Namaya. Enjoy your night. And Franklin and Wamba, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for the donation. That will go a long way for the community, especially for the Stay in School project. We'll do two this month because we didn't do that last month. And 3 giveaways.
Coach, I have an update.
Yeah.
I've just been listening to Fabrizio Romano, and he said that Brighton's line about the hamstring niggle, which is why Caicedo didn't come, is in contrast with what the Caicedo camp is saying. He says that Caicedo camp is saying that Caicedo doesn't want to play for Brighton and that he didn't want to go, not that he's injured. So there's agitation going on there, for sure.
Yeah, there is, yeah. And that's what, maybe that's what's needed for this deal to go through. Sorry for cutting you off. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, and then Fabrizio said, look, that what Brighton have said to Chelsea, that improve your offer. 80 million isn't enough. Just improve your offer. So they're not even
They're
talking.
not asking for 100, just
they're
improve
not.
it.
They just want an improved offer. And obviously the improvement, it's not going to be £1. You give them top another 5 million plus and they will listen. So I think it's really getting there. And he also said, all the Chelsea inquiries into Tyler Adams and other midfielders has nothing to do with the Caicedo deal, that it is in addition to the Caicedo deal. And Ben Jacobs actually said this as well. So let's see what happens during the week. Sorry to cut in.
No, you don't have to apologize. Thank you for that update. And Franklin Mwamba, I appreciate the donation. As I've explained, it will go along for the channel, especially for the Stay in School project. We've done it 4 times, spending $200, and we have to do 2 this month now because we didn't do for the month of July. And yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. It says Brighton is close to signing a Federico Redondo from Argentina, and I have a feeling he's going to be better than Caicedo. Wow, I didn't see that news, but thank you for that update right there. And I've seen some people in the comments here during the Blue Money Show suggesting we go for Redondo. I don't know him that well, I have to be honest. Again, maybe I have to research him even more to know how good he is. But yeah, I think they need the money from us. So we'll probably, and like Bobby explained for that update, they're just asking us to improve our bid. It's not like they're not asking for 100 million. The club Brighton sold him to must also be rubbing of their hands as they have all selling a fees of a reported 20%. Yeah, they a shrewd business. Again, what's his name? Tony Bloom is a shrewd businessman. I talked about Redondo weeks ago. There we go. Yep, you did. Okay, yeah, that's very correct. And a Ecuadorian TV station mentioned the deal has been for $120 million. And would be announced on Monday. And part of the deal was for Chelsea to allow Brighton pursue Kudus. Let's hope it's true. That's what we again. The moment I saw that Brighton are on the verge of completing the signing of Mohammed Kudus. That was the theory that came to mind. Redondo will be in a season worth more than Sanders because we never trust and build what we have. I am tired. Yeah, but I want Santos to get game time. If the manager doesn't trust, it's the guy for us. Let him go somewhere and play, continue developing. His time at Chelsea will come. As a die-hard Pochettino fan, I don't believe that we will win the league this season. However, I agree with DJ that the top 4 finish and a cup run are achievable. But if the manager says he can win it, let's go for it. I want to know if Chelsea have assigned a Brighton goalkeeper Sanchez. Yeah, that deal is over the line. You could go on the if you go to the Chelsea website, you'd see a picture of him and an interview. I believe that Poch is setting these goals for the team is in order to raise expectations and create a culture of winning. These will help us to develop and reach our full potential in the next 2-3 years. But I'm not going to question the manager's mentality. Focus on top 4 and UEFA Champions League. Don't care for the cups. Yep, like we said, that's our expectation. But if the manager says he can win it, I'm all for it. Chamari, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you joining. William Gallas was the name Bobby was looking for. I want to know if Lukaku's transfer to Juventus is complete. Unfortunately, that one may well not happen because we're hearing the Mauricio Pochettino is not too keen on us signing Dusan Vlahovic. Maybe it's a strategy to get Juve to lower their asking price. That's a chance that's the case. Kamara, I want to know. Yep, I've answered that question. I just watched some videos of Federico Redondo. We should definitely snap him up, I hope. But we've signed too many young players, and the young players we signed actually we're not giving them to all of them opportunities. But I think we'll have more than. I think Santos stays. I think there's a chance Leslie stays. Now Martin is staying. We have lots of young players already. If we get him tomorrow, will he play against Liverpool? I'm not too sure, really. I hope we're not buying that overhyped, overrated Caicedo. I think we will. Again, it's looking like we're going to buy him. Can we hijack Federico Redondo from Brighton? That boy looks really good. We'll see. Redondo over Tyler Adams. Yeah, round. Be smart. I don't know. I do appear on panel from time to time. Yep, he does. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. You are the one that I don't miss. Look at him talking tonight, but let's see what else we have here. Anything else? Let's see. I don't like so much Paradis, Tyler Adams. I'd rather Tyler Adams than Paradis. First of all, Paradis rejected us. Tyler Adams, he wants us, and I think he's younger. Not I think, but he's younger. Yes. Let's see what else we have here. Coachella, you're still on the road to do a research about. I haven't actually. I have to be honest. Just seen a few clips, but I really. I usually like to see beyond clips to say, okay, I like this player, or make a solid argument, present a solid argument for that player. But I'll do that. I gave you the assignment over 6 weeks ago. When are you gonna arrive? Here's the thing. I asked you to, again, the easiest way to help me would be to send me a DM via Twitter or Instagram. That way I'll have, it will serve as a reminder to me. Poch is Argentine, knows Redondo's dad, and cannot spot that his son is a top talent. He was good in the under-21s World Cup, but we can't sign every good player out there. In my opinion, we've signed quite a lot, and they're still moving for some. So, DJ, where do you want to sign? And if you have any questions and you are in the chat, drop it, and we will try to address it. Go ahead, DJ. Anything else you want to say with the with regards to the Moises Caicedo conundrum, or you can say drama, maybe?
Nah, I just want this deal wrapped up now. I think we all want this. It's an old soap. It's turned into a right old soap opera, hasn't it? You know, it's Caicedo. You're hearing every day. You know, now as we are now drawing near to get this deal done, I think a lot of the fans and all of us just want it wrapped up now. Do it within the next 72 hours and done. He becomes a Chelsea player. Hopefully, if he's fully fit, well, he's not even got no injury. He takes part in that game against Liverpool on Sunday. So hopefully it gets done, mate. Hopefully it gets done very soon.
Yeah, I hope it gets done. Things are happening, like Bobby did put it. Let me see if there's any new report. If you have any questions and you're in the chat, shoot it, and we'll try to address it before we round up. We'll be rounding up soon. Let's see. I read Redondo's father, legendary Fernando Redondo, is pushing him to La Liga. You can see the La Liga usually suits Argentine players more. That Redondo guy was born in Spain, really impressive. We should hijack him, like my partner said. Maybe we should. John Webb, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. I am confident that we will finish as the best London club next season. We have a strong squad and a talented manager that will go a long way. Yep, I think I agree with you. Let's see, Sandro Tonali was a massive miss. I wouldn't say that for a reason. We don't want him. Everything comes down to what the manager wants, and more importantly, how the manager likes to approach the game. If we didn't push for him, it's because we didn't want him. Redondo over Adams anyway, coach. Love at first sight. Really? You love him that much? Okay, I'll try and look him up. Let's see what else we have here. Man wants to win the EPL with the talent, spotting eyes of a dove rather than that of an eagle. Geez, here's the thing. I'm not going to question the managers. I'm not going to question. I'm going to say it 10,000 times if I need to. I'm not going to question the manager's mentality. He feels like you can, and let him go for it. And Jerry Z feels like he just said it, you can say, to motivate the players. I don't mind. Honestly, that's how I see it. And Franklin Wamba, thank you so much. I appreciate that once more. But you don't have to do that again for me to read your comments. But I appreciate you. That is just you showing love to the community. Gentlemen, why are we paying 20 million for Tyler Adams? Is he better than what we already had? That's a good question. In my opinion, I'd rather we keep Leslie Ugochukwu than honestly than pay 20 million for Tyler Adams. We have Ugochukwu. We've signed him already. He helped Rennes achieve a top 4 finish in France, which means the Rennes will be playing in the Champions. Will be part of the next edition of the Champions League, and we're not even there. And the fact that we're considering loaning him out is beyond me. But DJ, what do you make of this? Should we just keep Ugochukwu? Or maybe the Tyler Adams things is just a way of pushing Brighton to say, look, we're going to walk away if you don't sell him. Because I think we should keep Leslie Ugochukwu, who is, by the way, traditionally a DM. And Moises Caicedo isn't traditionally a DM, in my opinion, the way he applies himself on the pitch. What do you rather we do? Do you think would be better off keeping Leslie Ugochukwu, or do you think we should still sign Tyler Adams? Your opinion?
Yeah, listen, I'm not going to butcher his name, so I'm just going to call him Les Kuchili. Yeah, I don't end up butchering the player's name.
Because you're into name butchering.
I don't want to be exactly now. We hear the end of it, brother, as well. So listen, now in terms of it all, right? Listen, I think the reason only why we're looking at Tyler Adams is because of his experience in the Premiership from obviously when Leeds were in there last season, and I think the reason, and I'll try and pronounce the name without getting butchered. Yeah, Ucho, is that right? Is that pronounced right?
Who? Let's go. Ugo.
Okay. Ugo.
Yeah,
Ugo.
Go with Ugo.
Yeah, Ugo, right? With
That's
him,
how you say his name for short. Yeah.
With him, what I will say with Ugo, I probably would say, I think if it's already planned out that he's going to go out on loan to Strasbourg, maybe he learns. But then I'm thinking to myself, the guy, does he really need to? Because if you look at the team that we bought him from, and the fact that we are now loaning him to Strasbourg, I would have thought he could probably come in and fit in with what we're trying to do. So again, it's a bit of a different one. But the only reason why I'd say why we're going for the Leeds midfielder is because of his experience, because he's played in the Premiership. That's the only reason why. Otherwise, I would have kept I would have kept him in the team personally. But again, it's what the club are deciding. It's what Poch is deciding. If Poch thinks he needs to go out on loan to still better himself, then he needs to go out on loan, or and we bring in Tyler Adams, but. Again, what do you do next season? Obviously, we'll have an issue next season where we're going to have so many of them in that midfield. You're going to have to let a few of them leave. So it's a good problem to have. It's a very good problem to have. I'm not going to lie on that one. But let's see what happens on that one. I think maybe if they're thinking it's best for his development to still go out on loan, then so be it. And then we bring in Tyler Adams and go along with him for the season.
Yeah. Again, I've told you in my opinion, I'd rather we keep Ugo than sign Tyler Adams. But that's just my opinion. And I don't see, it doesn't make sense, like you've explained, to send him out on loan and then send him to a team that plays in the same league where he played before we signed him, that finished 15th, I think so, and he finished 4th. And he played week in, week out for them in big games, and it was effective for them. It just doesn't make any sort of sense. Bobby, I want to get your thoughts. We have Leslie Ugochukwu, who's tall, physical, a good ball winner. He has good passing range, reads the game so well. And like you saw, and I'm sure you've been listening and you heard everything I've explained, how he helped Rennes achieve a top four, you could say a fourth place finish in France. And he's a fine player. What do you make of the fact that we're looking to sign Tyler Adams? Do you think the rumors that were contemplating triggering Tyler Adams' relegation release clause is just to get Brighton to say we better sell this Caicedo to Chelsea before they walk away? What do you think, Bobby? Okay, looks like Bobby is in there. I'm going to try to get what we have in the chat. If he comes back on, I'd have him.
Sorry, I was trying to unmute.
Okay, yeah.
What was the question?
Look, for instance, this again, Franklin One Base asking, why are we paying 20 million for Tyler Adams? Is he better than what we already have? We have Leslie Ugochukwu, who's tall, 6 foot plus, physical, good passer of the ball, helped Rennes achieve a top four finish in France. Now they will participate in the next edition of the Champions League. And we still have Santos. Do you think we should pay 20 million to sign Tyler Adams, who will be out? He won't even get to play for a while.
From what I heard from just listening to Fabrizio Romano's video, it was an inquiry into Tyler Adams. Sorry, excuse me, as well as other midfielders. Now, do we need them? I don't know. It depends on what plans Pochettino really has for the midfield. Now, there's no doubt that Tyler Adams, a fit Tyler Adams, is a very good player and is a leader. There's no doubt about it. But I'm not sure. I mean, if the release clause is 20 million, if we were dead serious about it, Chelsea wouldn't hesitate to pay 20 million. We paid what, 40 million for Diocese. What a lot of fans don't understand is, Chelsea is a club right now that have tremendous financial power. I keep saying this and people don't quite get it. Chelsea have serious financial power. The only rate limiting step to them is FFP. If they want to sponsor 6, 7 players at 100 million each, they could do it. But FFP has held them back. They got into a agreement to be able to spend up to 1.5 billion on players. So and they've spent what, 600 million. So it's not about the money, it's about the need. And they're making inquiries all the time about other players. It's just that Tyler Adams, he's American, he's high profile, Leeds have been relegated, and he has a small release clause. So of course it's making headlines. Do they really
And
want him?
he's the current Captain America.
Yeah, exactly. And we got rid of Pulisic. So he's going to make headlines. Do we really want him? I'm not sure. I'm not so sure at all. I'm not. I think they may be looking at that profile of midfielder if they are going to get rid of Gallagher. But honestly, I don't think they're going to get rid of Gallagher. I think Pochettino likes him. So I'm not too sure about that, to be honest. I'm not. And I think Chelsea have so focused on the Caicedo deal that all these other deals that they're looking at are secondary. They might surprise us and then drop 20 million for Tyler Adams. Is it? I don't know. And remember, Pochettino doesn't want a big squad. He wants 24, 25 players. So I doubt that. I do doubt that. I don't think they'll get another midfielder outside of Caicedo, not in this window. In my opinion, I could be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, but I totally understand where you're coming from. Yeah, I totally do understand where you're coming from. Thank you so much again once more for the donation. Franklin Wamba, I appreciate you. I think DJ, you've addressed that yourself, right?
Yes, I did, Caicedo. I did address that one. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. Tonelli is unique. Unfortunately, people cannot see things. We all see things differently. Redondo has a dual Spanish and Argentina citizenship. Deservi is broken, coach. Money talks in this game. I agree with you. I think he knows. I think he's sounding as if he knows the player is gone. That's how I see it. The way Deservi spoke shows that he's not happy with Caicedo's attitude, which I want. That's how you force a manager, because if you can say trying to stay professional and then play the friendly and all that, play well, they're sensitive. Yeah, they can keep you, and I convince you to, you can say, to sign a new contract, maybe for a better pay, and you end up saying and doing well. As I explained last season, we thought he was going to be an unhappy player, and he emerged the best player of the season. So, but it's a risk now. He's showing he's serious about to leave. Last transfer window, he didn't do that, but now he's refusing to play, and they downplaying it by saying, yeah, he has a slight hamstring injury. So what did they mention actually? Coutinho, I have 6 Saints saying that Bally wants to buy every available talent early and then trade. Not more about trading. Some of them will eventually be sold, but most will become part of the Chelsea team in the future. And that's nothing new. We've been doing that for 1,000 years now. Adams is better than Gallagher there. Let's see. Redondo has a Spanish and Argentine citizenship because he might have been born in Spain. His father was a midfield general for Real Madrid. You don't need, again, and nobody needs to be reminded about his father. I didn't know that was his son, really, that he is his son. I think the best solution is to send Lukaku to Strasbourg and try to win the French league and the Champions League. If he wants to go, you can't force a player to go where they don't want to go. The recruitment goes beyond the current manager. We have a whole team in recruitment, and they're doing a nice job now. Okay, from Real Madrid, make that too. Eugene, let's see. I appreciate you, Coach DJ, Jerry in the chat. My question seemed to have stirred a discussion in the chat. Yeah, it's a good one, and we like such questions. My point is that Poch should not make such a statement, as it will put him in closer scrutiny and will put unnecessary pressure on the players, unless Poch really believes in the squad. I think he believes in the squad. And I've heard Enzo Fernandez say, "Yeah, this season the aim will be to win the Premier League." Hugo has already played as Messi, Neymar, against Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe, compared to someone who anchored a relegation team. I know which one I choose. I get it. I catch up on it. I'm sure you mean played against, not us. But that happens to the best of us, really. Your phone, your device, thinking they know what you want to say. It knows what you want to say there. Adams is a good player. Makes sense financially and for the short sell. Yep, business-wise, they may well up to sign Adam, but that doesn't mean we cannot keep Hugo. Coach, you didn't name Gallagher when comparing Adams with our existing squad. Why are you putting me on the spot? I'm running away from you. Collins says our squad is still far from competing for the top four. We need to bring more midfielders. Unfortunately, we've wasted time and drag our feet on Caicedo. I wouldn't say that. We're just trying not to overpay, and I'm all for it, really. We have to stop paying premium, and it has to start somehow, and that's a good start. Say pulling out of the Urate deal, and then not being in a rush to give Brighton what they're asking. Gallagher isn't a DM. The only thing he destroys is our build-up play and attack, but that's just your opinion. He is a runner. Nothing. It's your opinion. I have my opinion, and I'm not going to say mine now. I cannot wait to see Chelsea sell from Trees Broya. Wow. Some comments. Hugo has already played great against Messi. I knew that was exactly what you wanted to say, so don't worry about it. It happens to all of us. We're just buying talents and reselling them. What is this? God create Adam and Eve, not Tyler and Adam. Just go away. Coach, if you watch our transfers, Tyler Adams is a small screen. These random transfer, we don't ask about them. We just buy. Example, Leslie and Axel. That is a delicious comment of the day, and it makes sense. DJ, you're looking at that one right now. Yep, all the players were signed.
Yeah.
The moment you hear that we're speaking with the club, boom, over the line. So Tyler may well just be a distraction to make Brighton feel like if you waste time, we're walking away. If you want to add to that, you go ahead, DJ.
No, I was just going to say, on answering that question is, as I said earlier on in your comments section before I came on the stream, Chelsea are actually looking at two midfielders. And Caicedo is going to be obviously one of them, and you've got another one to come in as well. So whether it's Tyler Adams or whoever else it might be, I don't know, but they're definitely going for two midfielders. So, it's just a matter of which of obviously Caicedo and another. This is probably why these talks and links to Tyler Adams being one of them, and is coming up is coming up more often now. And it wouldn't surprise me if they were to do that. So I'm not surprised. It will not surprise if we end up with the two midfielders. So in terms of is it Axel's been mentioned in there? He's the defender we've signed recently, isn't he?
Yep, Axel Disasi from AS Monaco.
Yeah, I mean, look, I can't wait for this kid to play. To be honest with you, he looks a talent, and I can't wait for him to play. But in terms of us saying about the Tyler Adams situation, it wouldn't surprise me if it's the two midfielders we get, Caicedo and another.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I agree certainly with Chelsea Blue comment that I think Tyler Adams may well be a small screen because all the players we've signed, once you hear that we're looking to sign them, boom, it's over the line. So I appreciate that comment right there. Let's see what else we have. Coach, your camera angle changed. We are seeing the studio. I know it was intent. It's just a way of getting you to be immersed in the show to feel part of the whole process. Lukaku will poison Strasbourg. I don't think we'll send them even. I don't think we'll be sending Lukaku even to Strasbourg. Lukaku, yep, I understood that was what you meant to say there. Wesley Fofana, 18 million, Sterling, 16 million. That hasn't really worked. I agree with you. Big name signings in recent years haven't really worked for us. I think we will find out where we stand next Friday. If we cannot beat Liverpool, there's every reason to believe that we cannot be in the title race. I would not, if you say, look at the first game of the season and say, okay, this is where I think we're going to finish just from that. That is just my opinion. Coach, which position, Adam? It's a DM. Traditionally, from what I've seen, it's a DM. Let's see what else we have. You keep dropping the likes on the stream. Coach, when you get the chance, play the Caicedo song. Look for it on Twitter. I've seen it by the Nigerian man there. That's not the first time I've seen his video too. I saw it. Love our diverse fan base. I do love it. Honestly, that was good. All we would need is Moises Caicedo. I know the lyrics, if you pay attention to it, it makes sense. The song is very funny, but yeah, the message is clear. If Adam comes in, then Leslie might go on loan. That may well be the case, but I'd rather Leslie than Adam. He's more physical, taller. Axel looks great. A towering CB who can play forward balls. We will be a threat at corners and all that. And he scores goal too. He finished the season with 3 assists. A defender. That shows you the sort of player he is. I am a Chelsea fan, and I am a Chelsea fan. Yep. Let's see, Coach. I had a lunch with CEO of 7-Up, and they were thinking of some shirt sponsors. And I suggested them that best beat they could do is put that logo on United shirts, not Chelsea. I get it. So much put together there. Imagine we sign Caicedo and Chelsea use the same the song. Yeah, maybe they should. I think my friend Dan and Dan Hill suggests, yeah, better use that for the unveiling of Caicedo if we sign him. Coach, I would appreciate if you can predict where we will finish. Don't be hesitant just for some fun. Oh my goodness, I will not. I will not do that. You can't get me to do that. I usually here's the thing. What I've said, we just need to be strategic in this transfer window. And if we are, we do well. Let me just leave it at that. How well we do, I don't know. But we do better than a lot of people expect us to do. I'm just going to leave it at that. And that's me. Admires Paredes more than Adams. Paredes has played under him, so he knows him. Again, if you want some, let's go for him. I think we should sign a Kante. Yeah, we should. How many DMs and cams and central attacking midfielders do we need for the season? At least 2 cams, 2 DMs, 2 per position, actually. That's how Poch likes it. But that's, by the way, anybody else has anything else to say? Nothing new has emerged. Let me see if there's anything new here. Nothing. I don't see any new update. But if you have a question and you're in the chat, you go ahead, put it there. Bobby, anything else you want to talk about before we call it a day? I think Bobby, it takes him time to unmute because he's using his small device. So here are the other items we discussed. Okay, go ahead. Anything else you want to talk about, Bobby, before we call it a day?
No, I think it's going to be an interesting week. We forget that even Pochettino said that this coming week, don't be surprised if you see a couple of players walking through the door. I hope that's true, and I hope one of them is Moises Caicedo.
Yep. And did you anything else you want to say?
Yeah, just a couple of things. Obviously, the Caicedo deal. Obviously, Cucurella want that one wrapped up as soon as. The other one I want to see wrapped up, and I think it's going to be another loan. I don't know if you've heard about it today. Is this David Washington? My understanding is apparently Monaco are trying to scupper the deal or sculpture the deal because they apparently have got had an agreement in place with the club from last season that they want to go in for him. So that deal is not 100% either. I'm hoping that will get completed, and obviously there's a talk of him going out on loan again. The only other issue I have with that one is I think Strasbourg, I think they've got about 5 forwards already. So I don't know where this Washington guy, where David Washington is going to go in there if he does go on loan, or where he's going to fit into that squad. It'll be an interesting one to see what happens with him if we end up signing him. Hopefully he might end up staying with Chelsea if we do get him. And I'm hoping that deal will get wrapped up again this week. So they're the 2 deals mainly. And I think the other one I think you'll probably see this week is movement on Olise as well happening this week as well. and possibly, as I said, another midfielder in Tyler Adams. I think they're the 4 players that we're possibly going to make signings of. I mean, I know there's Vlahovic as well to talk about, but again, I'm not sure if that deal is going to happen now. But yeah, definitely what Bobby said. The Caicedo deal for me has to be the one that gets wrapped up this week.
Yeah, Coach, I asked you to wait for predicting the lineup for Liverpool game. We have some surprises coming. I think we will see lots of surprises. Coach, you always say that we will do well. I've heard that a million times. I know, and I've said it a billion times. I agree. Why are you so hesitant? Because I'm still. Again, I remember telling you that would do well. That should be enough, really. How well, I do not know, and I'm going to keep saying that. Just say third, fifth, etc. You are not on the spot, and we'll still get stakes as your sponsor. Go away. I'm not going to say that. Do you think we still need to buy a right winger since we've seen Martin playing there? Maybe, or maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I think. I don't know. DJ, what do you think? Do you want to answer that before we call it a day?
I can't see us getting another right winger through the door. Well, obviously, Olise's been linked. I think that was to happen, but obviously, don't forget you've got Raheem Sterling still there who can play in both positions, whether it's left or right. So whether that will happen, because then you obviously got Noni Madueke to come back as well. So I think we'll end up. I think we'll get Olise in, and that probably will be. I think we'll get that position filled up. And I think it will be Olise that will come in.
Yeah, and then this one says, if I said that question, I'm not too sure. Coach will tap in with his prediction during the last month of the season. No, I don't do that. Why don't we target the Saudis, PIF or Aramco for short sponsors? It's worth a try. I'm not sure, again, what to make of that one. How many players can Chelsea loan to Strasbourg? I think at most 3. I think the rule is the same for every other club, even a sister club. I think they should have their own account instead of this loan stuff. Thank you for the late evening. I appreciate you all. The plan is to do lots of evening shows, but I will not be able to do that until my in-laws I come back. I'm going to say thank you to DJ and Bobby. I appreciate you. And DJ, there's something I want to show you. I want to get your own so that whenever you're on the panel, I can add that to the discussion session. I will show you an example of Rogers. I appreciate you. All I'm going to say thank you to everyone in the chat. Thank you, JC. Thank you, BRZ. Thank you, Coldweb. Thank you, Chelsea all the way. Thank you, Adebayo, Mark and June, my brother. I appreciate you all. Everyone that's in the chat, if I miss your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and bye.
Peace, everyone.